saw the Caitlin Clark effect. We saw the influx in fans.
People were willing to pay up to see this preseason game. Has now set the new ticket price high for anything that Caitlin Clark, any game she has played in.
Can we all agree that Caitlin Clark's WNBA preseason is one for the record? Books ticket prices have entered another dimension as Clark shattered yet another record of her own. No less, and Indiana Fever fans are throwing cash like it's the NBA Finals, except it's not, it's preseason yet. Here we are, the moment tickets went live, wallets emptied like it was Black Friday at Amazon, and once again Caitlin Clark is at the center of a sports moment so surreal, brokers are probably still recovering. In this video, we're breaking down 5 records she just snapped in half before the regular season even had a chance to.
Average paid price of $440 per ticket. Somebody moves the needle when people are willing to pay ginormous amount of money. Is that a word? A massive amount of money to see Caitlin Clark play ball.
Be clear, this wasn't some primetime showdown with championship implications. This was a glorified warm-up game, a preseason clash, and yet the hype made it feel like a Game 7. What made it different? Caitlin Clark stepping onto the court, that's what. Meanwhile, Indiana's front office is working like secret agents plotting a master plan to turn this team into a WNBA empire, and Clark is the crown jewel. It's not strategy, it's a sports coup.
The WNBA saw a boom like we have never seen. We saw Caitlin Clark come into the league. We saw the Caitlin Clark effect. We saw the influx in fans who flooded to the WNBA, and many of those were there for Caitlin.
Still wondering why this matters? Hang tight. We're about to dissect the exact moment Caitlin Clark turned preseason basketball into a national spectacle, and what 5 records she just broke. And if you're already in the CC fan club, go ahead and drop record breaker in the comments.
Caitlin Clark, in that, has become arguably the most influential basketball player in the world, both on the men's and the women's side.
Let's start with that jaw-dropping stat, $440. That's what fans were shelling out on average for a ticket to see Caitlin Clark and the Fever face off against Brazil's national team, a friendly exhibition, but with Clark in the mix, it was anything but casual. The venue, Carver Hawkeye Arena, her personal coliseum where she made history in college, and for the first time ever a WNBA preseason game was picked up by ESPN. Another record set because when Clark plays, the world watches.
Iowa's Carver Hawkeye Arena is the most in-demand event involving Clark, with a, quote, average paid price of $440 per ticket.
And what's even more mind-blowing is that she beat herself her previous record for highest ticket average, $411. This was set during her now iconic March 3rd game against Ohio State, where she broke Pete Maravich's all-time college scoring record. That was a monumental moment, but now we're here breaking those numbers during a preseason game. Some people go viral. Once Clark does it, the moment she sneezes, prices ranged from 146 nosebleeds to a high roller 6. CU0 courtside. Oh, and guess what? The arena sold out in 15 minutes. That's not a crowd, that's a movement.
Good luck finding affordable tickets for the Indiana Fever preseason game against Brazil at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Seats at the arena for the May 4th matchup between the Indiana Fever and Brazil were first offered to season ticket holders and a few top donors. It didn't take long for them to be.
And let's not forget, this isn't her WNBA debut, it's year 2. Most players see a drop in buzz after their rookie year. But Clark, her stardom has evolved into a gravitational force. She's not peaking, she's compounding. What we're witnessing isn't temporary, it's a tectonic shift in who holds the power and excitement in this league.
Ain't nobody paying $8,100 to watch Angel Reese play ball, especially when there are tickets. There was a ticket available for $29. $29 to see Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky play at the LSU.
Iowa wasn't just sentimental, it was seismic national. Outlets including the Associated Press confirmed this was the highest average ticket price ever recorded for a basketball game across any level, men's, women's, college. Clark is in her own lane now, and the scary part, she's only getting better. The Preseason hasn't even started, and she's already warping the league's economy.
They were all gone before general sales to the public even started. Clark and the Indiana Fever are returning to the University of Iowa for a WNBA preseason game against the Brazilian national team. That game is on May.
Let's dive into the receipts. Since Clark arrived in Indiana, the team's ticket prices have gone through a transformation that would make Wall Street weep for road. Games this season, the average jumped to $272, up from $171 during her rookie season. That's a 59% leap in the real world. That kind of spike gets regulators involved at home. It's even more bananas, from $92 to $197, more than double. That's not a bump. That's a boom. Clark is no longer just the most influential player on the court. She might be the most financially essential athlete in pro basketball today.
A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness.
But this transformation isn't accidental. The Indiana Fever didn't just sign Clark and throw her to the wolves they built around her. Think of it as constructing the perfect laboratory for basketball innovation with Clark as the mad scientist. This isn't about potential anymore, it's about domination. Enter Sophie Cunningham. She's not just a savvy vet, she's basketball royalty herself, and her decision to join the Fever was a public vote of confidence in Clark's superstardom Clip 9. She didn't just praise her, she compared her to a young Diana Taurasi. Yes, that Tara Rossi, the one with rings medals and a legacy carved in granite. Cunningham said Clark's ball distribution and floor IQ mirrored Diana Taurasi at her peak, but spicier, flashier, and somehow even more dangerous.
Sophie Cunningham is pumped to play with Caitlin Clark, even comparing her new teammate to a WNBA legend.
But Sophie was only the first domino the Fever. Added Dana Bonner, one of the few defenders last season who even remotely slowed Clark down. Clip 11, they stacked more firepower with Brianna Turner, Natasha Howard, and filled out the roster with Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, and Kelsey Mitchell. This isn't a roster, this is a rebellion, a counterattack against the league's long-standing powerhouses. Indiana just skipped the rebuild phase, they're in contention mode. Now,
I think anytime you play with the go-to-bar team, or the go-to-bar game, you're going to learn a lot. You have to be ready for the ball, head on a swivel at all times. And the way that she throws the ball is a lot how DT threw it. I think this is just the younger version of her, so she has a little bit more energy, a little bit more spunk. I miss DT in her prime, but doesn't mean she wasn't great when I played with her. But honestly, at the end of the day, everybody can shoot, right? If you're cutting and you're open, you're going to get the ball. And so you just have to be ready for that. And I'm excited for that. And I think you'll see 1 through 5 is interchangeable. And so you'll see the 5 bring the ball down. So it's going to be a little different for other teams to play defense against us.
The sports books agree on DraftKings. The Fever sit fourth in title odds. At plus 380 FanDuel, even bolder. They have Indiana tied for second at plus 350. This is no Cinderella run. This is the front door getting kicked open by a team that knows it belongs at the table. If you're placing bets on this league, it's time to. Start spelling Clark with $ clip 39. And did we mention Merch Clark's jersey was the bestseller in the WNBA last year, and it's not slowing down? Analysts predict she's on track to claim the second best-selling jersey in WNBA history. Before her second season ends, the Fever are also seeing a merch explosion, from hats to posters to bobbleheads. Everything with Clark's name is a hot commodity. She's not just a player. She's a walking stimulus package, and every time she visits an opposing arena, it becomes a fundraiser for the opposite team. Clip.
She felt the team was gelling, and how she felt about the addition of DeWanna Bonner. She basically said that when she talks, people listen, and she kind of wants to win it all for her. Here it is.
Givi's been tremendous, and obviously, not only as a leader, she's a tremendous basketball player too, and she's won championships. She knows what it is. So when she speaks, everybody listens. So I think that was a piece of the thing we were missing last year. It's we didn't really have that inside of our locker room. So just really grateful for that, and just the way she talks and she leads. For me as a second-year point guard, I want to win for her. This is the end of her career. She deserves it.
Everything is just absolutely new. It feels really good. It feels fresh. It's kind of like when you take your clothes out the dryer, kind of like fresh. It just feels different, and it feels good because we have new leadership, we got new players, we got vet leadership, so I think all that combined just makes for a good atmosphere right now. It feels good.
How does that help you guys elevate even more for the players who are returning?
It makes it easier. I remember this time last year, it didn't feel good. So we had to get that in order for people to start playing well. It's like a domino effect. But I think once your culture is kind of established, how you guys see it now, I think it makes everything else way easier.
So all the rookies are in Indiana. They were at the Pacers game, tossing out shirts with the rest of the team. So hot off the presses, the Indiana Fever have dropped a workout video, which has Bree Hall, it has Yvonne Ejim, and it has Michaela Timpson showing off their stuff.
With the next team, as we go through our WNBA preview, is the team that I know many of you are fascinated by. It's the team that I don't know what the odds are in the sports books up there in North Carolina, Mitch, but certainly nationally, the conversation when it comes to the WNBA surrounds the Indiana Fever, the second season of Caitlin Clark in the W, and how this team that's been retooled with a new coach, they've brought in some veteran players. You can make the argument they're in win-now mode, combined with that young core that they still have predominantly on rookie contracts.
The Indiana Fever are taking no prisoners this season, and they have just launched their new marketing campaign with the tagline, "Now You Know." I saw this thread on Twitter. I was shocked by it. I was pleasantly shocked and surprised. I thought it was so cool and so savage. Now, what I also think is hilarious is that they took that a step further. So if you go to the team store, the Indiana Fever's team store, you will see that they have a brand new t-shirt that they are selling. And that t-shirt says, "Every game is a home game." And then on the back, it says, "Now You Know," with a sold out banner with all of their basically schedule. It's like a tour t-shirt, and it says every game is a home. And here we have today, basically clapping back at all of that and proving that they know that they are the moment, they are the Showtime team, they are the biggest team currently in the WNBA. This kind of stuff is not only good for the Indiana Fever, it's good for the entire WNBA. And things like this, if you're an Indiana Fever fan, you get super excited about something like this. If you're not an Indiana Fever fan, if you're, say, a New York Liberty fan or a Las Vegas Aces fan, this riles you up even more. So when you are going to these games where they are playing against the Indiana Fever, you are going to be more excited, more just amped up to see this. There are more rivalries, and the competitive nature of these games are heightened because of little things like